Are you getting ready to buy a new truck? Today we're going to talk about two big mistakes that so many people make when they're buying a new truck. You don't want to miss this, so stick around. Good evening, folks. Welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time visiting, thanks for stopping by. Tonight we're going to talk about two things that people tend to make mistakes on kind of frequently when they're ordering a new truck. The first of those two mistakes would be ordering or buying your truck before you know what you're going to haul with it. The second mistake is not paying enough attention to payload. Now, the two of those kind of go hand in hand. Truck buying is a complicated procedure. There's a lot of options out there. There's a lot of decisions to make. Are you going to buy a gas truck? Are you going to buy a diesel truck? Do you want two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive? Do you want the long box, the short box, a crew cab, a cab and a half? There's so many things that go into a decision when you're speccing out a truck or buying one, even if you're buying used. Tonight, we're going to primarily focus on a very common configuration, which is the crew cab, 4 full-size doors with the short bed in a four-wheel drive. And primarily, we're going to be focusing on the F350, although we will talk about the F250 and why you may want to avoid an F250 and just buy a 350 instead. So tonight's video is actually inspired by an email that I received from a guy named Terry. And Terry, if you're listening, I'm afraid I've got some bad news for you. And I'm going to go into that in detail here in just a minute. So first of all, Terry stated in his email that he's found a slide-in truck camper that he really likes, a couple of them actually. And I'm going to show you some screen recordings here in a minute of the dry weight on one of those. What Terry's concern is the dealership that he's trying to buy this slide-in truck camper from has told him that he needs a dually truck in order to purchase one of these campers. Terry's question was, if he was to upgrade his truck to super single rear wheels on his current single rear wheel configured F350, if I thought the truck would support the weight of this camper. For those of you that don't know what a super single is, if you've ever seen a semi truck driving down the road and instead of having dual rear wheels on the tractor, they have single rear wheels, but they're very wide, that's a super single. It's very common to see people that take their F350 dualies or F450s and they go customize them and they take the dual rear wheels off and they buy really wide tires to put on the back in a single configuration. That again is a super single. So it's more common that you would see somebody take a dually and put a super single on than you would see somebody take a single rear wheel axle truck and put a super single on it. Not that it can't be done, but it involves wheel spacers and you're going to end up putting a lot more stress out on the ends of your axle. The dually truck has a completely different axle in it. It's a wider axle, but the dually usually has about 2,000 pounds more payload than the single rear wheel. So Terry, part of why they're telling you you have to have a dually is for the payload. The other part is the side-to-side tippiness of that slide-in truck camper. So I know it's not what you wanted to hear, but adding super singles to your single rear wheel truck will not increase the payload of your truck. The payload of your truck is calculated when the truck is sold from Ford. Terry has stated that he and I have identical trucks. Here's a screenshot of my payload. And here's a screenshot of the specs on the camper that Terry wants to buy. As you can see, the payload of his truck is going to be maxed out just with the dry weight of the camper alone. We have to remember that we've got to be able to put things in the camper. We've got to be able to put people in the truck, gas in the truck, water in the tanks of the camper. All that stuff counts against your payload. So that's one of the big mistakes. Like I said earlier, people don't pay enough attention to payload when they're buying their truck. That leads into that other comment about buy your camper or your trailer before you buy your truck, and that way you know how much truck to buy. If you guys are getting anything out of my videos, I've got a favor to ask of you. Would you please subscribe to my channel? If you hit the subscribe button, and I'm going to show you here on my screen, if you click subscribe, you'll get this little thing that says you're subscribed. And then if you go to your page and view your channel, Over on the side here, you'll see your subscriptions, and right there I am. So if you open that tab up, it'll show you all the videos that I've produced on my channel. So adding a subscription to my channel won't cost you anything, but it helps me out a ton with the YouTube algorithm and help my channel to grow more. Thank you. And really the reason that most of these camper dealerships are not going to work with you on selling you a trailer or a camper that you don't have the right truck for, even if you were to go modify your truck so that it could handle all that weight, your payload sticker is still going to say that it's not rated to haul that weight. And they would be liable if they sold you that camper knowing that your payload on your truck was under the amount that it needed to be in order to haul that load, whatever it is. Now the problem is with Payload is it's really hard to find. If you're ordering a truck, Ford has what they call their towing charts. And they're very helpful if you're looking at a truck, looking to place an order. Each truck's payload is unique to that truck. And the reason I say that is you start off with the gross vehicle weight of the truck. And let's say it's, 11, 12,000 pounds. And then that's in the truck in a base configuration. All the options you add to it, they take away from that gross vehicle weight. So what you wind up with at the end is they take the curb weight of the truck, which is weighed after it's built, and they subtract it from that gross vehicle weight, and what's left is your payload. So each truck is not built identically. If you lined up 6 trucks and they were all ordered by different people with different options, one might be an XLT, one might be a Lariat, one might be a Limited, a Tremor, all these different configurations, they all add different amounts of weight to the vehicle. So the payload is going to be unique for each vehicle. Now, if you go to the Ford dealer like I did today, and by the way, thank you, Jordan Rush at Grand Ledge Ford in Michigan, for working with me this afternoon and walking around and opening up truck doors so that I could get the images I'm about to show you. So first I'm going to show you the payload of an F350 with a 6.7 diesel. Now this one's a 250 in a Lariat with a turbo diesel. 1992. So just under 2,000 pounds. Isn't that amazing how low that is? I've seen F-150s with higher payloads than that. In fact, here's a payload sticker from a 2017 F-150 Crew Cab Short Box, and you'll notice it's only 160 pounds less payload than that 3/4 ton I just showed you. That's because that truck was configured as a very basic 3/4 ton truck, and then they threw a diesel engine in it. Now take a look at this F350 with the 6.7 diesel. This one's an F350 in a Lariat with a turbo diesel. And you can see here it's got a payload of 3966. Now I don't know how that truck was configured, but I can tell you that that payload is really close to the same payload that I have on my 22 F350 with a 7.3 Godzilla. That diesel engine weighs about 800 pounds more than my 7.3 Godzilla does. So that truck I just showed you a picture of the payload, obviously that truck has like a max camper package or something on it to increase the payload. Otherwise, I would have actually expected that payload to be about 800 pounds less. So as I scroll through the Ford towing charts here we've got the F350 single rear wheel Super Duty, and if you look over here at the crew cab and come down to the 7.3, you'll see all these numbers, all these different towing numbers. And really, you're going to be somewhere between 17,000 and 21, close to 22,000, depending on how that truck is configured, whether you're towing a gooseneck or a fifth wheel. So if we go here to this section, this talks about your max cargo weight with a sliding camper. Again, you've got to go down through here and find your truck. And then it even depends on what tires are on it. Now my truck would be configured as close to, very closely to this 4x4 with the 160-inch wheelbase. So it says here that that truck with the 7.3 has a gross vehicle weight rating of 11,100 pounds. So then if you slide over and you look at what it says your max cargo weight rating is, that's going to be as close as you're going to get to a payload number right there. 7.3 standard option, looks like 3410 is what they're calling out. So I would expect the payload would be close to 4,000, but here they're stating that the max camper weight you could put in is 3,400 pounds. So here's an F350 dually in a 4-door crew cab with the 7.3, 5,758 pounds. So like I said, actually a little more than 2,000 pounds more payload. You've really got to watch the numbers on these trucks. There's so much data to go through, and you really need to take the time and do your due diligence before you make a purchase that you could actually end up regretting. Maybe today you're just towing a bumper tow 28-foot or 30-foot travel trailer, but ask yourself, is there a chance 2 years from now you might upgrade to a fifth wheel? If the answer is yes, you probably want to be looking at that F350, not the F250. If we look here in the F250 configuration with a 4x4 crew cab, let's see, 4x4 crew cab with a 160-inch wheelbase, we're looking at 10,500 on the GVWR, and it looks like just over 3,000 pounds for that slide-in truck camper with the 7.3. Actually, depending on if you've got the long box truck, you're looking at 2,300 pounds. So that throws a lot of people off because they think, well, long box, they should be able to haul more weight. It's the opposite, actually, because that long box weighs more and it takes away from your payload. So let's pay close attention too as we look here. Let's drop back down to the F350. Again, in that 4x4 crew cab, 160-inch wheelbase, and this column right here is 3410, and then jump over to the 6.7, 3158. Now, I would have expected that number to be a bigger difference. I really would. That's only about 300 pounds difference in payload. This is a 2026 Ford trailer towing selector that I'm using. So Terry, in your case, with that dry weight that you had, you are going to be in that dually down here to get a slide-in truck camper rating high enough for that particular unit you're looking at. If you don't want to get a different truck, then you're going to have to come back up to the line that you have to work with, and then find a camper that works within your specific configuration. If you are truck shopping and you watch this entire video to the end, thank you. So make sure to subscribe to the channel. Like I said, there's lots more truck content on the channel now. There's more to come. I'm always looking in the comments, so please drop a comment in there if you've got a question about your truck or a question about ordering trucks. So not a real exciting video for you tonight, but hopefully you found the information useful, and hopefully if you're truck shopping, this helps you make the right decision moving forward, and you get the truck you need the first time, and you're happy with it for a long time to come. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.